I mean, I don't feel like I can give a good enough debate about Alien Covenant. Since I saw it
That's
once.
why we don't have to talk about that.
I saw it once, and I just remember seeing a blind rage, and I can't remember anything else.
It went white.
Yeah, I just woke up and there was bodies around me. And the credits were playing.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, I'm not going to argue. I mean,
That's fine, man.
what? So, I think the thing.
This is the Passion Show, by the way. Welcome. It's
Sorry,
Kyle and Leo Freezer and
Wagwan.
Samir Aslam.
Hello, I'm here again. I'm here again.
Right, boys.
Yeah, we were just talking about Alien Covenant, I suppose. I
great
think
film.
the only thing I can remember that really bothered me is right near the end, and we've all seen it, right?
No.
Apart from Kyle.
You
Kyle.
do you care?
No.
You don't care? No, that's the right answer.
The spoilers for Alien Covenant,
Yeah.
if
I
anyone
just
was
noticed you got
wondering.
your student hoodie.
Yeah,
Rep
I'm
on.
a fucking nerd.
Yeah, man, represent.
You feel powerful, Kyle.
Yeah.
Right at the end, his name's David, right? Michael Fassbender.
Yeah. Well, one of them.
One of them.
Yeah,
Whichever
one of
one's on the ship at the end, because they have a moment where they're like holding each other's faces, and then there's like switch. You're not sure which one's David, which one's whatever.
Yeah.
And on the ship at the end, is it David? Whoever is on
It's
the ship at the end,
David.
yeah. When he starts like throwing up the baby egg aliens, like he's like,
It's setting up the other films, bro.
yeah, but like that. This is the thing. You didn't need to set up aliens.
We all know Ridley Scott is a very capable.
Wasn't it like very similar to Prometheus?
Well, it's a continuation, isn't it?
Yeah. It's
Well,
like,
I think the Prometheus stuff it does is good.
Mm.
I like the
I
start
love
of it.
Prometheus so
yeah, I
much.
like Prometheus.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
Prometheus. I think it falls apart in the final act.
I think Covenant does as well, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I think it builds up quite an interesting, universe and stuff like that. And I
Mm.
like the different variations. But also, right, so if he's creating the perfect creature, the perfect killer machine, why would he go from spores that can travel through the air to an egg that you have to put your head on top of? It doesn't make sense. I don't get it.
Yeah.
There are silly little things like that, but the like I said, I think that thing about throwing up the eggs at the end, because do all the dumb shit you want in your own prequel film, do whatever you want, like go crazy with the story. I don't care. But then you
Draw the line at vomiting eggs.
Well, it's not even the vomiting eggs. It's the fact that then you're now interfering with original alien lore, saying that like this is where the aliens come from. This fucking weird robot threw them up.
It is like definitively this
Yeah.
is where
It is
the
weird
egg
how
came from.
Michael Fassbender is the reason why Alien
And the problem
exists.
I have with that is then not only is Alien Covenant a piece of shit film, it then takes a shit on Alien, because now part of Alien is ruined, because anytime you watch it, all you're going to think of when you see one of them aliens is Michael Fassbender.
That was in his belly.
Yeah, regurgitating. It's like he stored them in his little stomach.
Is he the robot man? Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously
Yeah.
now that takes away from the mystery of what the alien was, which was part of what was so good about the original and even the second one, and on and on. But the first two especially, it's like the alien. Who knows? We don't know that much about them. It's just all this shit, and now it's forever dry heaving.
I like that
dry
film.
heaving robot.
I really love that film.
Do you know what stresses me out about the Alien franchise as well, though?
Yeah.
So do you know the androids in each one? There's some spoilers here, because I'm going to say who the androids are.
Yeah.
But in each one, they go like alphabetically with the films. So in the first one, you have Ash. Second one, you have Bishop.
Yeah.
In Resurrection, you have Cole, I think is her name.
Cal,
Cole, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that.
And then in Prometheus, you had David. They go, the androids go A, B, C, D, and you get to David in Prometheus, and you're like, oh, I wonder what the next one's gonna be, like Eugene or something. Walter.
Oh yeah.
Walter. Are you having a laugh?
It's actually,
How could you?
they
Did you
cast
do
Bryan
that?
Cranston.
Did you do that like
The-
accidentally?
The only consistency in the only alien franchise.
They
It
fucked
was. I remember watching it, and I knew there'd
Walter.
be a new one. I'd be like, oh, he's gonna be like Eugene or like, you know what I mean?
And also, I want to hear what you guys think about this, because we got into it the other day about Ridley Scott.
Yeah.
Because
That would be a good thing.
So to preface it, I'll just say mine, and then you can say how much you love him. I think he's a hack. I think he's only ever as good as his screenwriter and team around him. If you look at his best films, let's say, 5 best film or 5 like most regarded best films, probably like Alien, Blade Runner, Gladiator, The Martian, and then
Thelma and Louise.
yeah, maybe something like that. I don't know. You throw one of them in.
Hannibal.
All of those have had banging scripts. Well, Blade Runner didn't, obviously, but Blade Runner is a lightning in a bottle thing. Like, the fact that film came together at all is a miracle. But what I'm saying is, I don't think any of the films he makes are particularly. He doesn't have like to say he's in this discussion of like authorship filmmakers.
Yeah.
I don't think he has this a vision. It's just, I think it's plain, and I think.
Well,
it's,
give us the counter. What are his films that don't have good writing behind them that suffered because of
The
it?
Counselor.
I haven't seen that.
Well,
To be
Well,
fair,
there's
that
a-
was all his film.
He
wasn't
wrote
it?
and directed that. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure.
now
I
that
could be
you're
wrong.
saying that, like, there is like no
Look back through.
consistencies
yeah.
between like
Yeah.
Aliens and Blade Runner and The Martian. Like, they're all sci-fi films, but
Yeah.
But he has made.
But all of those films, is it the direction that makes them good? I don't think it is.
exactly,
Blade
yeah.
Runner isn't a particularly well directed film.
it's a well shot film.
It's a well shot film. It's atmospheric as
It's
fuck.
got
The-
beautiful
the,
sets and
the
stuff.
music saved its ass as well. Like, you know, it's all these things that came together. This is why, you know, I think that I obviously it's a miracle that it came together, but I don't think it was Ridley Scott that did it. But you obviously like him.
You can't get away from the fact he has made two of the best
Yeah.
films ever. Like I think Alien, very good direction.
You think so?
Yeah, I really do. Like, I think it's one of the best, most well directed films ever. Alien.
I guess for me, what makes Alien good, what makes it so good, is it's as good a sci-fi film as horror film, right?
That's what people go to. It's like it's like a horror film,
Yeah,
isn't it? 'Cause
yeah.
You don't see the monster
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, the first hour is a pure sci-fi film, isn't it?
Mhm.
Which is all handled really well. But I think part of what made those sets is a lot of, you know, H.R. Geiger, all the things that you kind of remember when you think about all like the claustrophobic sets and all that kind of stuff. I think that's what you think of. I think you think of the sets in Ridley Scott's films more than the film.
It sounds like
Not that I'm taking anything away from Alien. I'm just trying to verbally speak out loud.
No, I get it.
It sounds like you're sort of looking at the collaborative effort of film
Yeah.
more than like the director. And I suppose you could do that with a lot of stuff because it's
is
never
there
just down to
is
one
there any
figure.
other, like, you guys feel, are there any directors that do similar to what Samir thinks about Ridley Scott?
Well,
Yeah.
I agree with what you just said about. I think the only reason I make this argument in the first place, because it's not, like I said, Alien and Blade Runner are two of my favorite films of all time. I don't have a particular beef with them. It's just when people put him in the category of like proper visionary,
Like up there with like Kubrick and
and it's like he's
people
not.
like that.
I'm like, take his name out there. Like, he's like you said. There must be something about him that he has had these films made, but I mean, I only say he's a hack as opposed to get a shock, because I want people to realise he's not as good as people say he is.
People are going to be like Googling, is
Yeah.
Ridley Scott a hack now?
He's a hack.
Yeah,
for
yeah.
It's
sure.
going to be trending on
In
Twitter.
answer to Leo's question,
Yeah.
this might be a controversial one.
It's definitely, if it's coming out your mouth, Carl.
I might say Peter Jackson.
I don't think that's controversial.
No.
You
He's
look-
like-
he's not. I mean, to say he made potentially the greatest film trilogy of all time on screen.
And then one of the shitters.
Apart from that, his track record's
I
not
hate
great.
Lord of
Oh,
the
I'll
Rings.
tell you what I watched the other day though. I watched Brain Dead.
Yeah, you guys
Oh,
watched
it's
That
that.
so
film was
good.
fucking
It's so good, isn't
great.
it?
I loved
Yeah.
it. Proper loved it.
But, I mean, I guess Peter Jackson's a weird one, because I suppose he was part of like the indie film movement in the 90s as well, with like Tarantino and all those guys.
Yeah.
I'm coming
Kevin
from
Smith
like,
and everyone.
is he from Australia or is he from New Zealand originally?
I think he's from New Zealand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From New Zealand. So obviously, I mean, he's done a lot. But yeah, if you look at his track record, it's not the best. It's really not the best. I mean, what was that stinker he put out last year? Like the Machine one.
Oh, more no.
Mortal Engines.
Mortal Engines or
Engines.
something. Yeah.
yeah.
And it's like his name was all over that, visionary director and everything. And you know, come on.
What about James Cameron?
I that's one I agree on, because like he makes these big films, but they feel so blockbustery. It
Yeah.
feels like there's not much actual art in there. But I don't want to take that away from him, because he obviously is like hugely influential in films like Terminator 2 and like Aliens and stuff like that. So
He's similar, isn't he,
influential.
actually, to
I think,
Ridley Scott?
Yeah, I wouldn't even say I'm like I suppose a James Cameron fan, but I respect the hell out of like, I guess, the technical stuff he does for cinema.
he's pushing the
Yeah.
boundaries
Yeah.
a bit, isn't he?
Yeah,
he
he
changed
always
it. He
does.
changed it with Avatar. Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, even like the fact that he built a whole Titanic, like they replicated the entire ship.
That's
What's this
amazing.
about him going on a submarine?
He's
Well,
been to the
this is-
bottom of the Mariana
I
Trench.
love this shit
shit.
so much. I love
Okay.
it. So he was like, apparently, and again, I could be exaggerating or misconstruing things, but because I got excited with this story. But this is how I remember it: is that the original idea was he was going to go to the bottom of the ocean, or as deep down as anyone's ever been before, get footage that no one has ever had before, and release that footage in Avatar 2 as part
Oh
of the
my
film.
Oh, wow.
god!
Yeah,
Wait, what?
Okay.
that was the original idea.
Because I thought it sounded ridiculous, like he was going
Yeah.
in a submarine. I didn't know the full
So
story, but
obviously-
this
What,
sounds
he's
boss.
planning to release Titanic footage in Avatar 2?
What are you talking about?
It's the same.
He's imagining the big Titanic thing actually in Avatar 2.
Wait, I thought he was making a really good joke.
Yeah, I thought you were making a joke.
No, I
about
wish.
Titanic being sunk at the bottom
What
of
do
the
you
ocean.
mean? What do you mean though?
Because he's not filming the Titanic at the bottom of the ocean. He's
Listen.
filming the bottom of the
Oh,
ocean.
I thought you
We're not
meant
talking
he.
about
I
Titanic.
thought back in the day when he done Titanic, he went in the submarine to go
no,
and get
no.
footage for
We just said
Titanic, and he
Avatar
wants to
2.
include it in Avatar 2.
We just said Avatar 2. Man.
I thought it was like he came out. He's got this lost footage that he's just gonna whack in Avatar 2.
Do you think Titanic's in the same cinematic universe?
Yeah,
as
crossover.
Avatar?
Never know, it could
But
be.
yeah, so that was the original idea. I don't know if that's happening or not.
Yeah.
Who knows at this point?
Yeah, exactly. Who knows? But he has at one point. I don't know if it's been broken out, but he was the person like the deepest.
I think
down
he
into the
still
sea,
is.
so
Wow.
He could still be. Yeah.
That's
Mm.
insane.
He was
I
just
didn't know
like
that.
a little one-man pod.
That's
James
mad.
Cameron.
That is
I
mad.
think I've told this before. I don't know if I've told this before on the podcast, but have you heard about the people who first went down to the Mariana Trench, like the first expedition? So it takes like hours to get down there because it's like triple the size of Mount Everest. It's so deep, right? So these two guys went down in like this little submarine, and it takes like 6 hours or something, and they got down there and they were like just at the bottom of the ocean, just looking around, and one of the windows cracked under the pressure, and they were like,
God.
"Fuck off, get back up."
Off we go.
God,
Yeah,
you'd be
that's
terrified.
terrifying. That.
The bottom of the ocean scares me perhaps more than anything. Like I think I've always had a phobia of just like big open spaces around me.
I'm
think-
exactly the same. My biggest fear is being like in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah.
Like
with
just
no-
looking down and
with just like blue
yeah,
around
and you see
you.
blue.
I think a big part of that is Jaws. I think that was
Yeah,
a big part of seeing
Jaws,
Jaws
yeah.
as a kid.
Yeah, yeah.
I was late to Jaws. I only watched it for the first time like a couple of years ago.
Oh, really?
Did
yeah.
you love it?
I really liked it. Yeah.
Yeah, so
it's so good.
I'd recommend Jaws 4.
There you go.
Revenge.
CGI is beautiful.
Is it Jaws 3D, the one where it's at the end and it's coming out like the tank,
Yes,
and it like
mate.
breaks the tank? That's great. It's
Beautiful
great.
bit
It
of
just floats
cinema.
towards the screen. It's so mad.
But yeah, no, I think that's the idea of that, and like when you're in space, like Gravity. Do you see Gravity? The Sandra Bullock film. She's floating around space,
Yeah.
and that made me feel
That's
horrendous. 'cause
terrifying,
It was just
that.
the idea of floating through space,
Yeah.
and it's just like black.
Yeah, you saw Ad Astra.
Yeah, yeah.
You know that. Have you guys
I've seen it,
Yeah.
but I'm not bothered.
You know the bit when he's like climbing up the thing at the start and he
Yeah, yeah.
falls off? Like that made me like my stomach sink. I was like, that is like he's falling from space into Earth.
Oh.
It's a
Like-
bumhole clencher.
Yeah, like I was like, oh my god, like is this like the end of the film?
Worse than space in the ocean is like, do you know when like Squidward breaks the time machine and it's just white and he's just in a void?
Yeah,
That's my biggest
That's
like
quite
phobia
terrifying.
related to
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
It's because you get there and you'd be like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
what do I
what do you do?
do?
Yeah,
you just sort of sit down, or would you? You know what I mean?
I guess I just thought of this now with you saying Ad Astra and
Mm.
stuff. It's towards the end of the year, isn't it? What's been the best film of the year?
Mm.
Has it been a good?
We kind of touched on this
We
before
touched
in
on
the
it,
podcast,
but
but we'll do it again.
Let's do it again.
No, I don't want.
No, let's do
No,
it.
no, no, no,
I
it's
want to do it.
interesting.
Samir, I need to hear your opinions.
Okay. What was the consensus?
Le Mans 66 for me.
Yeah, I want to see that. I've not seen it yet.
I think
I need to see The Irishman.
mine was probably. I'm gonna look on my phone actually because I said I was
need
gonna
to
look
see
at my
the-
film log, but I
I
didn't.
don't mean to repeat all of your content. I apologize.
It's okay, bro. Just
So you
come
guys
on.
want to hear about when I went to Japan?
House Train Your Dragon 3 was really good. I really liked that. Oh yeah, that's it. So I mentioned Endgame, obviously, because it was
Sure.
sick.
Yeah,
John Wick 3 was really good.
that's it.
I
That
haven't
was really
seen-
fucking
yet to
good.
see
I really
that.
liked
Yeah.
that.
Once Upon a
see
Time
that.
in Hollywood was good.
That was really good.
It was
I
okay.
think
I'm a fan of that.
Can we do our least favorite films of the year as well?
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to think about my least favorite films. I think I've been.
Hellboy.
I think. Oh yeah.
I think that
Hellboy
might
was-
be.
Hellboy was such a weird film. Did you talk about Hellboy before?
No.
Hellboy is. Did everyone see the newest one?
I didn't.
No,
I
I
didn't
s-
see it.
A guy who
fun
worked
fact.
on it came to the cinema and bought a poster for it.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah.
Fun fact: I watched this on a plane on the way back from America. I watched Hellboy,
Just
and no, not just now. I just got off the plane, and the guy that was sitting next to me literally went. He was staring at it. He was like, "What are you watching? Like that looks like the worst film ever." and my friend doesn't watch any films, and he noticed like how bad that film looked. But
Yeah, I think as well. Hellboy is probably one of, if not my favorite comic book character. Like it was one of the first comic books I ever had. I have a very, very, I love Hellboy.
you do.
So I was excited for the film. I thought, I can't even lie, the trailers were pretty good. Some of
Pretty
them
good.
were
David
bad.
Harbour looked good.
Yeah.
They were, yeah.
David
Harbour
David
looked
Harbour
good.
was good as
Yeah.
Hellboy. That's the only thing I liked.
It was. I had faith in Neil Marshall to direct
Descent.
it, and
Yeah.
I feel like this is gonna get real sad.
It was-
Minute.
it was-
I
you know
feel
what?
bad because
I wasn't even upset about it. I just think it wasn't even a film.
it wasn't a film.
It wasn't.
It
a
wasn't
film.
even a
It
film.
was not a film.
It
Yeah.
wasn't a film. It was, and this was what's so weird
Mm.
because it's like people ask me if they should watch Hellboy, and like I said, it's not a film. But it's basically like a combination.
It's a hack.
It's just a combination of sequences of scenes.
Yeah.
Just glued together
Yeah.
that don't really make any sense.
There's about
But-
6 minutes of good
but
stuff
because
in
of that,
film.
you probably get about 2 or 3 scenes that are absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
Hellboy.
I agree with
like,
you. Yeah.
But if you just take the scenes on their own for what they are, like there's that scene where he goes into like the Baba Yaga's.
yeah.
Walk. She's got like a walking treehouse. It's cool. Like it
It's
looks
cool as
great.
fuck.
Like
yeah,
it's a lot of really cool effects and
Yeah.
stuff. And that whole sequence,
Mm.
she's like, I think they're having like a scrap in there.
Yeah,
aren't they?
a little scrap.
That whole fight is so good.
Yeah.
It's so good. And then it stops, and then the next scene begins, and you're like, oh yeah, I can zone out again for like 15 minutes.
Yeah, I'm just gutted we didn't get the third Del Toro.
Oh,
Hellboy.
that's what I was talking about. This
Yeah, I'm really
yesterday.
upset about that.
So
Yeah.
so now because this Hellboy failed, we now don't have old Hellboy,
Yeah.
and we don't even have new Hellboy.
No.
We've just got no Hellboy at
No
the minute.
Hellboy. Yeah, we've been robbed of all of our Hellboys.
I think I know what my least favorite film of the year is.
Go.
Did you just watch X-Men: Dark Phoenix?
Yes.
Oh.
I
me
haven't
and you
no,
saw
I'm
that.
not touching that with a shitty stick.
Oh my god.
We have to
Fuck
approach
that.
this film carefully. 'cause-
It's ridiculous.
I've only seen
You
the
know-
good X-Men films.
You guys say what you want to say about Dark Phoenix, and I'll go afterwards.
Okay.
If you still want to.
Big silly film.
Yeah, we're gonna have to approach this carefully because, this film is not very good.
Why? I haven't seen it. Go on, enlighten me.
So, if
Yeah.
you, I don't know what the right word would be to like sum up
It
that
felt
film.
so aimless.
First
and
of all, Sophie Turner's the lead, which
with a questionable American accent.
with a
Weren't there
questionable
aliens in it
American-
or something?
Yeah, so they kind of do like the scrolls, but not the scrolls.
Yeah, because they
basically.
lost the rights to the scrolls
Yeah, so-
last minute.
I think originally they were going to be scrolls, but then Captain Marvel was coming out and they were doing scrolls, so they just
Yeah.
changed them to like what did
Yeah,
they call
what
them?
even was the villain in that?
Just
Is there a villain?
It was
It was Jessica Chastain, wasn't it?
Oh, of course, yeah.
she was the villain. Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Two gingers.
she explodes at the end. I think.
Samir, you got any? We saw this together, right?
I mean,
Were you looking forward to it?
no.
Okay.
No. I learned my lesson with the X-Men franchise a long time ago.
Days
A long time
Didn't
ago.
you didn't like Days of Future Past either, did you?
of
Not
Future
really.
Past is sick.
Not
It's
really.
such a good film.
Not really.
That film's sick.
It's just not my X-Men guy.
Mm. What's your X-Men?
Car theme from the 90s.
Like my favorite ever X-Men, Joss Whedon did X-Men story in like 2000
Okay.
called Astonishing X-Men, and that is like, to me, that is the epitome of X-Men. It's almost like, I think it almost serves as like a predecessor to the Avengers, because that's when he really got to play around with the superhero dynamic and making them work as a team. Like in the Avengers, obviously the dialogue's so snappy and stuff. It's the same in X-Men, but it really works well, tailors it to all the characters and stuff. And obviously, none of that happens in Dark Phoenix.
No.
It's just
It is-
it's this team that you're not really connected to because
I could not give-
Apocalypse was shit.
Yeah.
And they try and make you care about them, but it's just so forced and like cringy. It's like
I'd
and
say if
the-
they all died, I
Does-
wouldn't.
not
I'd,
bothered.
Jennifer Lawrence die, yeah.
yeah,
They spoiled that in the trailer.
yeah,
I
yeah,
know,
they
it
did.
is.
but I didn't care when she died.
No.
I think
Oh,
she just didn't want to do
She
the
wanted
movie.
out.
She hates it.
She hates it.
She
Yeah.
just gets less
She
and
fucking
less.
ruined it.
She
She
gets
ruined the
it
entire
just-
franchise.
gets,
She
like,
just
less and
hates
less
getting
makeup.
paid millions and millions to be in these films. It's ridiculous.
But no, I think I said it before, but I think the X-Men is responsible for some atrocious superhero cinema. But
What do you think is the worst X-Men film?
I think it's Dark Phoenix.
It's got to be Dark Phoenix. I can't think of.
I think watch The Last Stand,
Yeah.
and you'll be like, oh wow, like the
You know
Dark
what?
Phoenix really is
It's
bad.
Going
really
back,
is bad.
it's quite fun.
It's
I watched a
fine,
bit of
it's
it the other
fine.
day.
It's
I'm the
fine,
juggernaut, bitch.
Yeah,
It's-
to have it. It's good for that.
Yeah. But I think if you count on like Logan Origins, if you count that, Wolverine Origins,
Logan
that's
Paul.
what I mean. Yeah, Logan Paul Origins. Yeah. But I mean, yeah, I'd have to say Days of Future Past is the worst one. I mean, I thought
What?
Apocalypse.
West
Sorry,
and Origins
sorry,
Wolverine.
Say,
sorry,
bro.
sorry.
Took a dark turn.
They're all the same, aren't they, man?
Is that your worst film of the year? Do you think?
Dark Phoenix. I can't think of one that I've.
I think that's mine.
Gemini
Yeah.
Man, but I haven't seen it. I just
Yeah.
morally fucking despise that shit because Will Smith didn't even get the age for it. Like, it's completely CGI mold.
Yeah, no one
Like,
saw it.
It's not
Mm.
real.
Yeah. So do you remember when I told you it was Jaden Smith?
Yeah.
It's not, is it?
It's not. It's
Yeah,
it's
it's just
CGI
yeah.
like thing.
Sorry,
It's not an
sorry, I
actor.
gave you.
Thing.
Sorry, misinformation for
Ruining
that.
the industry.
Sorry, lads.
I think my favorite film from this year is still Under the Silver Lake.
Nice.
Oh,
Didn't like it.
What should we do? You didn't
Of
like
course, I
it?
didn't like it though.
No, it's a
yeah.
bit too slow. I think.
Yeah.
Do you reckon we should like wrap it up so these guys can?
Yeah, that's
Sorry.
fine.
Do whatever.
Sure. Yeah.
Sure
How do
thing.
you want to wrap it up?
We didn't really do a proper intro.
No, I didn't.
So why do a proper outro?
Yeah.
You don't just leave it.
Just leave
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
Okay.
do that.
Can we put the intro jingle here?
Yep.
Because we didn't get to put it at the start.
Yep.
Mm.
Okay.
Bye, bitches.
That'll do.
That was a lot.